Sonic Frontiers.
Welcome back to Sonic Frontiers, everybody. This video is going to be Sonic alone, me alone, baby. Also, I'm not gonna use webcam the whole time. I just thought I'd be like, yo, hey, good baby girl. My friends, unfortunately, we had some audio issues in this video, and we wanted to remove it and record it again. But the boys are extremely busy, and I really can't get them together more than like once a month, so I am just going to record this audio on my own, and today it's gonna be a solo me episode, baby! So let's get rid of the fucking webcam and actually just talk normally now. Alright, so we are on the final island. I know that I don't talk about Sonic Frontiers usually when I'm recording this series because, you know, I've got the boys and we're talking about, whatever we talk about. People being failures and their family not loving them and whatever, you know, the usual Let's Play style of things. But I do kind of want to talk about my thoughts on this game, specifically because we have so much free time where you just have to put up with me, so get fucked. We're talking about Sonic, so so I really enjoy this game. And I know that in the very beginning, Ellie was very much like, you know, the game's alright, you know, and we kind of talked about how the game was just alright and how there's some things wrong with it. I've gone back and played a lot of Update 2 since recording this initially. I kind of never touched any of that content because I was very busy and I didn't really have the incentive to go do it. If I had free time, I was doing other things. I was, you know, trying to make money and stuff like that. And, you know, life didn't really, I don't know. It didn't give me good reason to go back and play Update 2. And then Update 3 got announced, and it was that insane fucking trailer with, you know, Sonic Super Saiyan Blue version or whatever it's gonna be, and where he uses the cyberspace energy to find his second super form and get stronger and everything. Whatever. There's that whole thing. And I was like, okay, look, I know that no matter what, I'm not going to do Update 2 if Update 3 comes out. Like, I'm just gonna play Update 3, and I'll be like, Update 2 is like kind of whatever, filler content. Whatever! I'm not gonna do it! So I have to do it now if I really want to get it done. And I really want, I was like, I want to play everything this game has after. I'll do Update 2. I'll do Update 2, I'll grind out the time trials and everything. And let me tell you, the time trials kinda suck. Like the little time things where you go and pick up the orbs, the action challenges, those are not fun, necessarily. I don't think they're bad, but it does feel very fillery, and it feels like they added things that, they genuinely, I don't know, not that they didn't think it through, that's not what I'm trying to say. That was where my brain was going, but that's not correct. Like, it's definitely thought out, and I think it is fun for a bit, but, like, it's not that fun. Trust me, it's not that fun. And having a bunch of them in each world, and, like, the difficulty of some of them being kind of weird, I don't know. Like, they just weren't that great. Probably the worst part about the entire second update, in my opinion. I think they could have done without that. But the spin dash, I know everyone's already gushed about it, and it's, you know, gotten the sloppiest head known to man constantly in the community. Like, you can't talk to anybody about this game without them being like, dude, the spin dash changed everything. And it really did change a lot. It did change a lot with the momentum, being able to be kept after, you know, a boost, adding that to the spin dash, and how much height you get going off of ramps with it. Holy shit, it's insane. And, dude, I just love it. I love it. The spin dash changes everything, and I might have to do a New Game Plus run through on my own time where I use the spin dash, because it's so fun, and you can get so much shit done with it. I love it. I love it. Action challenges, doo-doo dog cheeks in my opinion, not really that fun, but the spin dash, oh, it's worth. It's worth for sure. 100% worth. Now, The parts that I actually liked about Update 2. One, I love the little visual thing for Sonic's birthday, like the cute little, like, oh, check out the fun, you know, Sonic wearing a birthday hat, and, you know, the low-key obnoxious UI that fills up a lot of the screen. But, you know, like, other than that, it's cute. I like it a lot. And the new Coco. One of the biggest throwaway things I thought was in the update. Like, I saw these new Coco, and I was like, fuck, I really don't want to collect them. Like, come on, guys. Come up with something a little better, a little more creative. You know, I'm not trying to deal with this right now. Those were gas. Those were straight fucking fire. I have never had the insane amount of pleasure playing any other platforming challenge, I think, in this game, honestly. They were so well done and so well thought out. They really challenged me as a player to try harder. And even though none of them took me like an obscene amount of time to complete, or an obscene amount of retries, like it wasn't balls to the walls difficult, right? It was still a good challenge and something that felt very gratifying to a player of the game that, one, is, you know, effectively 100% completed a lot of the islands, done all the platforming challenges, S-ranked all the stages, right? And played almost every single... every single Boost Formula Sonic game before this. Sorry, I was gonna say almost every single 3D Sonic game. And I was like, no, that's not true. Secret Rings... I played a lot of Black Knight, I just didn't get the true ending or whatever. Anyways, there are a bunch of 3D Sonic games I haven't had the displeasure of playing. But, you know, I have played every single Boost Formula Sonic game. I know what to expect from these platforming challenges, and yet I was still surprised. I was still surprised with the, like, inventive ways that they used a lot of the mechanics to provide something that was difficult, but god damn was it satisfying, dude. Holy shit. I'm trying to think of some of my favorite ones. I know that the third island had a lot of really good ones. The first island, surprisingly, also had some pretty good ones. Though I think a lot of the kind of wall running mechanic ones, because oh my god, they threw kind of a lot of those out there. And I think a lot of the time it was really cool, and it was really fun. But it was awkward. Because it did kind of force me to interact with the mechanic in a way I haven't before. Because, you know, there's that whole thing, like, if you're moving, Sonic will just, like, climb, but then if you press the boost button, he'll actually start running, and you can't really control your speed very well. It's either very, very slow and clunky, or very, very fast and hard to control. There's no in between. And I find it difficult to really find myself feeling in control in those segments, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's just not, I don't know, something about it doesn't float my boat, necessarily. But in interacting with them in kind of a more difficult, intensive setting than anything else in the game, really, I found myself finding a slight appreciation for it. I still think it's clunky as shit, and not probably my least favorite mechanic in this game, to be honest. It feels less well thought out than Lost Worlds parkour-esque mechanics, which I guess isn't saying all that much because it's one thing in a huge game for Frontiers, whereas it's an integral mechanic to the experience for Lost World, right? But I don't know. I found myself having a bit of a deeper appreciation for it, even if I still am not in love with it. And I can find myself being put in challenges where it asks me to use that mechanic and I'll actually feel comfortable with it. Unlike how I felt throughout a lot of this playthrough and my original playthrough of the game and, you know, all that. So, good on you, Sonic Team, for giving me something tough. I don't know, that's something I wish a lot of other games did. I know that I've already talked about it in the series, but, you know, Mario Odyssey. I love that game to death. There is something about the play experience there that's not satisfying because it doesn't challenge how I play, or, you know, how I think about going about challenges. Like, I can kind of just cheese everything and absolutely mutilate that game like crazy. So, you know, I don't know. More shit-talking Mario. That's part of the Sonic community experience. You have to shit-talk Mario or else you're not doing it right. If you like Mario too much, that's wrong and evil, and you can't do that. Mario is bad. We don't like him here. Sonic playing even remotely like Mario is also bad. Even though they're within the same genre. Oh my god, can we talk about that? Can we talk? This isn't like a recent beef. This is old as hell. But it sticks with me because, you know, it hurts me emotionally. Alright, the Lost World beef. Saying it was too much like Mario. Where is the problem with that? There's a run button. Oh my god, there's a run button. There's a run button. Nobody who has played that game and interacted with the mechanics on a deep level thinks the run button was a bad idea in that instance. Fucking nobody. Nobody. Every single person I have seen complain about Lost World mechanically does not understand the mechanics of the game. And that's fine. There are plenty of issues with that game. The main issue is that it doesn't explain things well enough, which is why so many people have these problems that are an easy fucking fix. The mechanics of the game are fine 90% of the time. You just don't know how to use them. And that's not your fault. Okay? Lost World haters, it's not your fault. Lost World doesn't even attempt to teach you. Lost World sucks for that. I'm not gonna pretend it doesn't. But come on. Grow a pair and admit you just don't know how to play the game. Say, I don't know how to play the game because the game didn't teach me well enough. And that's a valid critique. You guys will still get your hate boner off on this game because you hate it so much, okay? But don't say the mechanics are bad. Parkour works flawlessly every time I use it. Every time I use it, I know exactly what parkour is going to do for me. Oh, but no, it's unreliable. Because you don't know how to use it, dog. You don't know how to... Sorry. Like, this has been building up in me for so many years, because I know some people that hate Lost World with every fiber of their being. And then I have to sit there and listen to people talk about things they clearly don't understand. But me, I'm a Sonic connoisseur. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Anybody who has a Sonic opinion that disagrees with me is a fucking idiot. Because I know what I'm talking about. They don't. But I do. Was that convincing? Do I get points for that? Because do you guys think I know what I'm talking about now? Does that work? Okay, awesome. Thanks. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for building me up like that. I really need someone to lie to me and tell me that I'm a good Sonic fan. Okay, look. There's this whole ideology that kind of surrounds games, recently especially, that, like, you have to play X number of games to be a true fan. Right? I'm sure you guys have heard this before. I'm super sure you've heard this before, because it's everywhere. But there's a lot of people that are like, you have to play this to really be a fan, okay? If you don't play Ocarina of Time and understand the original Zelda formula, you're not a Zelda fan, okay? And that's fine, but you gotta admit it, alright? Just because you played Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom doesn't mean you're a true Zelda fan, okay? Anyways, that horseshit opinion, right? Is there anyone who, like, genuinely believes that with the Sonic community? Because I feel like a lot of times whenever a Sonic fan enters the community, people are just happy to see a new face. People are just like, oh my god, yes, finally. People like my character. Holy shit. People like my game series. Thank you, Lord. Finally, it took long enough. God forbid we sit here for the rest of our lives wallowing in self-pity alone. We need someone else to join us. Though we've been eating good recently, man. We've been eating hella good. Sonic Superstars looks immaculate. And I know it's kind of getting boned because, Mario Wonder is coming out so close to it. I think within a week, actually. I don't know if that's exactly right, but Mario Wonder and Sonic Superstars being direct competition has really fucked with it. Because Sonic Superstars looks amazing. It looks great. but a lot of people have been kind of complaining about Sonic Superstars and comparing it to Wonder very heavily. Because it's... Look, I'm going to throw my hands up. I know you can't see it. I'm throwing my hands up in the air. I'm fully aware, in every capacity, that Super Mario Wonder is probably going to be a better game. Realistically. I'm just going to say it up front. I'll probably enjoy Sonic Superstars more from a gameplay perspective, but I think Mario Wonder will objectively be a very beautifully creative and, fun 2D Mario experience that introduces a lot of things people have been wanting for a very long time. And 2D Mario is fundamentally an insanely solid formula. There's very little ways to go wrong, unless you release the same game 3 more times. So, sorry, New Super Mario Bros. I'm a pretty big New Super Mario Bros. Defender, but, like, you fucked up there. Like, let's be real. But yeah, Mario Wonder looks like more of the same of, New Super Mario Bros., but, with style and pizzazz and new things, Actually a new Super Mario Bros. Game that, will be a good time. Sonic Superstars looks like a 2.5D Sonic Mania with completely new levels. And, you can play with up to 4 people throughout the main campaign. Do you notice how everything I just said sounds insanely sick? But because Super Mario Wonder is coming out alongside it, it's like, oh, well, Mario's doing it better. So, Mario's doing it better. You got a bunch of characters. You can play as Daisy in Mario Wonder, so, like, just so you know, like, get fucked is kind of what I'm trying to say. But no, like, actually, like, it's kind of unfortunate that, Superstars is getting the shaft in that way. And, fingers crossed that, at the end of the day, Superstars will do well and people talk with their wall. And, obviously it's not out yet, so fingers crossed it's good. I definitely want to play it very soon. Maybe not day one. I don't know, it's harder to swallow, because when Mania came out it was $20, and I was like, I can drop $20 for peak fucking Sonic. Are you kidding me? What am I, stupid? Yes, I will drop $20 for peak gaming Sonic. But when it's $60, I know there's like quadruple the content or whatever. There's so much content. And I don't want to say it's visually better. It's visually more intensive. And probably required vastly more work to make that visual style work, right? But I don't know if I can warrant the $60 right now. Maybe I've just become like a more... I don't know. I think there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it, and there's a lot that's been talked about. I might be a more conscientious spender now. That might be part of it, or my priorities have, slightly altered since Mania came out in... Fuck, when was that? 2017? Was Mania 2017? I'm pretty sure it was 2017. But yeah, no, I might have become a more conscientious spender, but I think another big part of it is, Mania filled that void that, I've been feeling for so long, and a lot of people have been feeling for so long, about a classic 2D Sonic game. And now that we've gotten that, people have gotten what they wanted, and even though this looks sick, and I think level design-wise it looks fantastic visually, I fucking love the visuals of Superstars. It's everything I'd ever wanted from a $60 classic Sonic experience. Despite all this, it's just somehow harder to swallow, because we've already kind of gotten a new classic 2D Sonic game recently enough, that I don't know, it doesn't feel as special anymore. Do I sound like an old, crotchety old man? Because I'm still excited. I shouldn't sound like this. I'm still insanely excited for this game, and I do want to get it within like a month of the drop. Like, I want it bad. But it's hard competition. It's hard out here, dog. Sonic's got to live up to a lot. Same way that, well, this is a slightly different story, but the same way that, Forces came out in a post-Odyssey climate a few days after that game, there was just no fucking chance. Even if the game was good, there was no chance. Like, that was not living up to the hype of what Odyssey was, And honestly, what Odyssey is as a game, you know, it just wasn't living up to that. Not happening. Boo-hoo. So sorry, girl boss. You know, that's life. That's life, sucker. But obviously, it's very different, because Forces is a doo-doo dog shit game. Hot take! Though I have seen kind of like a resurgence of people being like, oh no, don't hurt your baby, Forces. It was actually pretty good. It was actually pretty good. No. And look, okay. This is coming from someone who has gone out of my way to defend Forces. Very often. A lot of people say it's awful, it's worse if not the same as 06. And I've gone out of my way to be like, no, it's structurally sound. And I think it, in many cases, is more fun than 06. But, you know, it's still Sonic Forces, man. There's what, like 2-3 levels that are fun in that game? Whatever, man. I'm being mean for no reason. I'm being judgy and mean and maybe a little bit too forgiving in some capacity as well. Maybe I should just pick the hate train or the love train instead of being all wishy-washy, and I'm so thirsty. I'm so dude. I've spent all day studying for an exam, and now it's 11 o'clock, and I was like, you know what I can do? I can record some fucking Sonic audio. Like, I finished studying, let's get this shit. Let's get this shit. Let's sit and talk about, you know, Sonic for an hour. And, you know what? I don't regret it. I don't fucking regret it one bit. I love Sonic. Sonic is genuinely such an important part of my personality, and I hate to admit that. I fucking hate to admit that I love this character so much, and that I have so much to say about it. It's such a fundamental part of my personal gaming experience. But he really is. Like, a new Mario game will come out, and I'll be like, yeah, I'll get it eventually. A new Sonic game will come out, and I'm like, day one, bro. Sonic Frontiers, day one, bro. It could have been ass. Yeah, don't care. Day one. Day fucking one. Mario Odyssey comes out. Don't have a Switch, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get one eventually. Like, it's crazy, bro. Mario Wonder comes out, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get it after Superstars, you know? It's such a weird thing for me. And I guess what it comes down to is, like, I think at Sonic's best, he's better than Mario, or at least has a more fulfilling experience than Mario. Mario works all the time. Like, you can sit down, and you can be like, yeah, I want to play Mario, and it'll always hit. But when you get the Sonic itch, the fucking, like, crack itch, where you're like, I haven't injected him into my veins recently, I gotta get back on it, and you sit down, and you try to do a perfect run of some random-ass Generations level, it's euphoria. It's euphoria when you get that perfect run. There's something so gratifying about that experience that I just can't explain to people. When they come and talk to me and they're like, Andrew, you have to get up, you have to stop watching Sonic the Hedgehog content, stop doing this, you have to stop doing this to yourself, your body's degrading, it's falling apart, and I'm like, no. Just one more attempt. This one will be the one, I swear. This one will be the perfect run. You don't even know. Oh my god, this will be so perfect. Look, rooftop run. Easiest run of my life. Oh, rooftop run. Oh my god. Play that. I'm taking a sip of water. Think about rooftop run for 5 seconds. 5 seconds is up. Tell me you didn't just have the most sensual experience of your life. Rooftop Run is peak Sonic, both in Unleashed and, in my personal opinion, I like the Generations one more. Sorry, not sorry. It is peak. It is peak. Doing a perfect run with fucking, oh, it's just, there's nothing. There's nothing that compares. My heart is completely connected to this stupid blue creature. And I love him. I love him to death, and I forever will. I forever will. I also think maybe the reason I feel like I have so much to talk about Sonic in comparison to Mario is that I feel very strongly about both of them. I do. A lot of Mario titles I have a pretty concise opinion on. And then you get to Sonic, and it's like, I do feel very strongly about it too. I do have a pretty concise opinion about most Sonic games. But beyond that, there's so much discourse in the community. There's so much discourse. And, you know, the Mario community, I'm not saying they're, you know, perfect. It's a very large community. There's a lot of, what's the nicest way of saying this? Idiots. People with genuine character flaws that should be looked into and studied. There are a lot of people like that in the Mario community, but there's less like vocal, obvious discourse. But when you get down to Sonic, you can't exist in this community without being in opposition to someone, some way, somehow. If you're like, dude, I fuck with colors. I like playing Sonic Colors. You'll say something as simple as that. Someone will be like, bum. Actual bum behavior. You like that entirely 2D, 3D Sonic game? Yeah, come on now. Come on. You really want to sit down and let Sega do that to you, to provide you an entirely 2D, 3D Sonic experience? Really? Okay, well, couldn't be me, right? And then you sit down, you're like, look, I'm going to say something controversial. I like Sonic Generations. And then someone, somewhere, will be like, okay, but it's really overrated and Unleashed is so much better. So, like, I don't even know why you're saying that, because you're kind of a fucking idiot. And then people will back them up, and then someone will be like, okay, fine, look, I like Unleashed. Okay, fine, I like Unleashed. I like Unleashed too. And someone will be like, no, the Werehog is undeniably terrible. It's terrible. And then the Sun and Moon Medal system completely ruins the game, and you get my point. I'm not going to keep going on and on and on, because I can continue to bring up things that have been said in the community multiple times, over and over and over and over and over again, from different people, constantly. But it's just so hard to exist in this space without, you know, being vocal in opposition to someone on accident. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Does that make any sense? It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me, and that's kind of like part of the reason that I honestly just sit down and I do Let's Plays of Sonic games more than I interact with the community itself, and I kind of only interact with the people that interact with me, because it feels more confined and less like I'm going to fucking D-Day. like I'm gonna get shot down in the ocean, you know, like, I don't know. I'm being overdramatic, for sure, but I believe it to be true. The Sonic community is out to get me. The Sonic community hates me with every fiber of their being, and I will defend myself no matter what. So, controversial opinion, I like Sonic Frontiers. I would say it's a solid 7 out of 10 game for me. It's very good. It's very good. And before someone comes at me and is like, 7 out of 10 is not good. 7 out of 10 is shit. I cannot believe you would call Sonic Frontiers literal dog shit. Just delete your comment. I know you're typing it right now. Delete it. Control A, backspace. Get rid of it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I really, like, if I see a single comment like that, I'm blocking you. I'm blocking you. That's all. I know I won't have the pleasure of never seeing your YouTube channel icon again, because you're probably going to upload some random content that gets on my recommended feed, but look, hear me out. At least you won't be able to interact anymore. That's all I'm saying. Was that too harsh? It might have been too harsh. Everyone can obviously have their own opinion. I'm not bashing people who have a different opinion from me, by the way, just so you know. I do love having discourse, and I think generally discourse in gaming communities, when done correctly, can be very fun, very interesting way to interact with your favorite media. But there's also a lot of times where it's not so fun, because people sit down and start talking out of their ass and attack you instead of having a good conversation about it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Controversial take. I actually do have some controversial takes in the Sonic community that I won't share here. That is for another day when I'm feeling more willing to go to bat for dumb shit. You know, when I want to find a hill to die on that will ruin my entire community and my my chance at continuing to play Sonic games online without getting harassed and bullied. So we'll save that. We'll save that for some day where I'm feeling like I need some spicy content. But yeah, Sonic community drama. I feel like that's what I fall back to all the time. Every single time I'm sitting down, I'm like, dude, bro, dude, Brokowski, dude, I just don't even know what to tell you right now. Cause, dude, Sonic community's got me fucked up, bro. I feel like I just fall back to that a lot. Not that that's a bad thing. It is very telling that I constantly have something on my mind in regards to the Sonic community. That's all I'm saying. There's lovely people in it, though. Amazing people in it. But there's also a lot of weirdos. And a lot of... dude. I had to take another sip of water, because I just felt this large tangent coming on. There's a lot of Twitter users within the Sonic sphere, within the Sonic community. Obviously going unnamed. I'm not going to name anybody. I'm not trying to get the smoke. But there's a lot of people within that sphere that are kind of unaware of the fact that their opinion is very much their content. So for example, they'll say something about a game, and, you know, it'll be something unpopular that's said, and then people will attack them. I don't condone attacking people, you know, but when you post something online, you do open yourself up to the potential for criticism, and especially as, you know, a relatively prominent figure in the Sonic community, right, like, or even a smaller community member, you know, anybody in the community, you open yourself up to that. And, you know, it's okay to have an opinion about a Sonic game. It's just a stupid fucking blue hedgehog. But so own up to it. And when people come at you and they're like, this opinion sucks ass and here's why, you know, either say, hey, you know, agree to disagree. And if you're really not feeling arguing about it, that's totally valid. Or if you want to defend yourself, argue about it. Whatever, man. But don't be like, I don't get why people are attacking me. I don't understand that. And I've seen that so often, where people immediately go on the defensive, but are unwilling to actually defend their point, really? Does that make any sense? To be fair, I have a very different way of going about discussions than a lot of people online about video games. I've always loved being very analytical about shit. To a kind of annoying degree in some scenarios, right? Where I can't enjoy certain games because I'm like, this mechanic sucks penis, and then I think about it the entire time, right? Whatever. That's just how I think. And when someone, you know, wants to talk to me about my opinion on a game, I will generally have a somewhat thought out perspective on why mechanically I think the game isn't as fun as it could be. But not everybody thinks like that. A lot of people don't think like that. A lot of people don't give a shit. They're just like, I played this game, I felt this way emotionally, and that's the reaction I had to it. That's the reaction I had to my gaming experience. And that's super valid. That is very, very valid. And you know, if you... Sorry, I'm very roundabout getting back to the original point of this topic. But like, if you're gonna open yourself up to that on the internet and you're going to be like, hey guys, this is my opinion, I don't have an explanation for it, I just feel this way, just know people like me are gonna get angry. Because, like, you know, let's say you hate X, Y, and Z game and you don't have an explanation for it. I'll be like, well, I like this game because X, Y, and Z. And then if you don't have an explanation for why that doesn't do it for you, again, completely valid. Different people think in different ways. But you can't be like, I don't get it, man. I don't get why people are attacking me. I don't get it. This all spawned from a very weird place and probably, like, 2 tweets that I've seen. So... not a big deal, not something that's super rampant throughout the community. But I have seen it more often than I would like to see it. I want people to realize that they can be held accountable for the things they say online. You say you hate Sonic Unleashed? Explain it, bitch. Who do you think... Don't even play with me. Who do you think you are? Because you can't say that and get away with it. Not in my, neighborhood, Missy. Not in my neighborhood. You can't do that. I will never allow it. I forbid it. I will never... I'm starting to go off in a very weird direction. You can tell it's almost midnight for me here. I am quite tired. I've been waking up super early recently, man. Let's talk about lifestyle. Lifestyle content where we're fighting this red pillar. Get fucked, idiot. I'm gonna fucking kill you. I've been waking up hella early. I've been waking up at like 8:30 every single day. And I know for some people that's like late. People who have jobs are like, you fucking childish bitch. I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to work and yada yada yada. But it's pretty early for me. And then I have like classes until like 6:30 p.m. and that's been fucking me up, dog. That's been fucking me up heavy. I cannot explain to you the experience, the hell I've gone through. Waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning and doing all that. And then on days I'm off, I go to the gym and get swole, and then I have to do homework, and oh, my life is so difficult. I'm literally sitting here talking about Sonic right now. My life sucks. Can you guys tell I'm joking? Can you tell I'm joking? Because I'm just messing around. Just joshing you. Filling up time because my my community rants are over. That's the one thing that gives my life meaning, the one thing that I can talk about in recent memory that has made me feel emotions. Everything else, I try to feel things and I just can't anymore, I feel nothing anymore. I feel nothing. I've hit myself in the knee sometimes like those doctors do with the little doctor thingies, and I don't even react. My knee doesn't react. Some might say that's endemic of another problem, or emblematic of another problem. But, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't believe I just said endemic. What am I, stupid? What am I, an idiot? It's emblematic. Fuck. I'm never recovering from that. No one will ever want to hire me, ever. God damn it. Anyways, moving on from that tangent. So something that I can talk about really quickly, is that we've just recently seen a very big influx in Sonic fan games. Sonic fan games. There's a little bit of drama floating around about Sonic fan games. I'm gonna steer clear, straight fucking clear of that. I am not even, no, we're not talking about that. But a lot of Sonic fan games have recently come out because Sage just happened, and it's been looking pretty good. It's been looking pretty good. I think in comparison to previous years, we haven't seen a whole lot of stuff. That's not a diss, by the way. Like, I'm not really trying to shit talk, fan devs for making free content for us. But just in comparison to previous Sage years, I don't know if there's as much to look forward to in terms of content for us to consume, to experience. Does that make sense? We kind of have a bunch of 3D Sonic games, a few 2D ones here and there, but nothing that kind of lives up to the hype of like what Project 06 is. Dude, Project 06 is insane. I have a friend who fucking hated that game for probably... I keep making that same mistake. That is really embarrassing. Wow. Why did I keep this in the video? I almost have a hate boner for myself. Anyways, so I, he hated... sorry, I had to remember where I was in my train of thought. Brain worky slowy right now. But he hated Sonic 06 for years. And then the second Project 06 came out, bro has been dick riding non-stop. And I mean non-stop. He keeps making jokes like Sonic 06 is peak Sonic. I think he needs to be put down. I'm gonna be so real, I think we're at a stage in his life where he just needs to be taken out behind a woodshed, and we'll figure it out from there. You know? We'll figure it out from there. But, you know, a lot of amazing Sonic fan games have come out, and it's very difficult to look at what we have right now and give it the same amount of reverence. And again, not a diss, it's just these things have been in development for comparatively a short amount of time, and there's just not as much to sink your teeth into as is right now. And I think that also goes for like a lot of Frontiers modding. We've been getting a lot of really interesting Frontiers mods, but nothing really good, in my opinion. So we've gotten a lot of mods that people really like. Oh, that's not true. We have gotten some good mods. Character mods are fucking crazy for this game. They are so good. They are so fucking good. But outside of that, you have, you know, things like improvement mods. This is going to be a long tangent. I need another sip of water, because this is going to be a long fucking tangent. That was embarrassing. That was horribly embarrassing. What just happened there? I would never do that. I don't know who's playing this game right now, but personally, I would never. That is just the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen. I would probably do horrendous things if I did that. Dude, 2 times in a row? Good heavens. This person must have something wrong with his brain. There must be something rotten in there for him to do that twice. That's crazy. Just take the safe path, loser. Or just do it right if you're trying to be all crazy. Look, there you go. There you go, bum. You got it. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh, yes. Okay. Improvement mods. Physics improvement mods. Improvement mods in general can suck my testicles. Very vulgar. I know. Like I haven't been vulgar throughout this entire series, but very vulgar. I hate them so much because none of them know what improvements mean. And none of them have designed a game in their life. Specifically, we're gonna run it back. Sonic Lost World. Every physics improvement mod, or, you know, level design improvement mod I have seen for that game is people who have no right touching the way that game was made. A lot of the physics improvement mods just make him go faster in level design where Sonic was clearly not meant to go fast. And then there's like a higher jump and all of these things that are game breaking, but not in a fun way. Not like a spin dash jump game breaking. Just fucking game breaking. Just bad. Not even, you know, Frontiers spin dash jump game breaking. It just doesn't work. It doesn't feel right. It feels fundamentally wrong. And this is also somewhat the case for Frontiers. I haven't messed around as heavily with these mods, obviously. So, like, take this with a grain of salt. I could be talking out my ass right now, and the improvement mods for this game, you know, fucking rock. But for a game that already gives you such deep control with how Sonic moves, I just don't think you need, like, a physics improvement mod. I really don't think you do. Because you can alter the way he controls to feel good for every player. And beyond that, a lot of people have added, like, you know, physics adjustments to the cyberspace levels. But, like, I just don't really get that either, because the cyberspace levels were designed with such a specific thing in mind. Does that make sense? Like, they designed the levels with this physics system in mind. That's why, you know, the physics that you add doesn't carry over. I've talked over my time. Anyways, improvement mods suck. You're pretty. This was a horrible place to end a video. I ended at mid-level. We'll get it next time. With the boys. Love you bunches. Bye.